In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how you can design a landing page using Elementor. So we have this product here that we added to our website. This is a WordPress website that is powered by WooCommerce. And we have this product here that wants to create a landing page for. It is a fitness watch. So we have the hero section here, and then we have the heading that says introducing the Atlas Peak Smart Fitness Watch. And also a little text and a button that says buy now at $100. And also we have the product image at the right hand side. And moving on, we have the features section where they can see the features of the products we are promoting. For our own case, we are promoting a smartwatch. And moving on to the last section for this landing page, we have another call to action section that compels them to buy the product right now. And also there's something I've added. By the time someone has visited this website, this page especially, and the person is about to close the page, we can see a pop-up is going to come up, and this is powered by Omnisend. What we're going to be using this pop-up to do is to give them a discount code in case they want to close this page. Maybe they are considering the price. We're just going to offer them maybe a 10% off code or maybe 20% off depending on your own use case. And if you're not using Omnisend, they currently have a deal for you, and it is one of the best deals you can find in the markets. And also considering the fact that Omnisend is the best email marketing company you can be using, especially if you have an e-commerce business. So click the first link in the description below to view this page that I'm going to be putting up right now. So at the top here it says WooCommerce merchant get 30% off for 3 months plus $1 migration package for free. So we can see everything here. The deal is going to end in the next 5 days, so you need to take action right now. So what you're going to be getting is 30% off for the first 3 months of your purchase, and also $1,000 migration package for free. So let's see what is included in this package. They're going to set you up for success at no extra cost to you. So they will help you import your contacts from your current email marketing plugin, and including your full name, subscription types and tags. And next thing, they're going to set up your automation for you. As you can see, this costs $500, but because you want to migrate to Omnisend, they're going to do it for you free of charge. It says it will set up custom welcome and abandoned carts workflows using emails only or with SMS, up to 3 messages each. And also they're going to set up segments for you for free. It's originally cost $350 to do this, and they're going to create sign up and pop-up forms for you for free. And also they're going to set up a custom domain for you. And there are other features that makes email marketing easy with Omnisend. And as you can see here, it's so easy to build emails with Omnisend. You can just use drag and drop form editor to build those emails. You can get pre-designed templates, pop-ups and sign up forms, and several other features that make Omnisend the top deal for you. And actually I've made a full review about Omnisend before. I'm going to link it down in the description, and also I'm going to link it up in the card above so you can watch the in-depth about Omnisend and see that this is one of the best email marketing company you can be using, especially if you have an e-commerce business. And as you can see, the plan is actually affordable for you to get, starting at $11.20 for the first 3 months of your purchase. Then it continues at $16 per month, and then you can also start free, but you can start with the standard plan so you can have several features added to your account also. So if you're ready, you can just come here to click claim the deal, and then you're going to use the code onlywoo and get in to this offer from Omnisend. So what we're going to be doing now is to install Elementor and also Element Kit Slides. So to do that, we're going to come to plugins and click on add new. On this website, I have Elementor installed and I have Element Kit Slides installed. But in case you don't have those 2 plugins installed, you need to install the plugin right now. So we're going to come here, and now we're going to search for Elementor. So this is the plugin we're going to be installing, Elementor website builder, more than just a page builder. As you can see, it is active on my website, and by the time we scroll down, we're going to see that Element Kit Elementor add-on is also active on my website. So we need these 2 plugins, and obviously you need to have installed WooCommerce to make this tutorial work well for you. So what we're going to do now is to come to pages. I'm going to select add new page. So we're going to give this page a name. We're going to give it single products tutorial, and we're going to come here to choose the templates. We're going to change it from default template to Elementor full width. This is going to give Elementor the ability to design the full width of your website. And we're going to click on publish. So what we're going to do now is to edit this page with Elementor. We're going to be using Elementor to design everything we can see on this previous landing page that we have here. So click this blue button that says edit with Elementor, and in the same way, let me open up the website we're going to be recreating, the web page we're going to be recreating. All right, so this is where we're going to be doing all the work. This is where we're going to be designing everything we can see on this demo landing page that we have here. So what we're going to do now is to start with the hero section. So this hero section, we're going to choose a container. Come here, click on this plus icon and choose this stored structure here. we're going to be using these 2 column containers. Alright, so we're going to start with the padding for this container. Come to advanced and then come to padding. So we're going to unlink all these values and we're going to start with the top. We're going to add 150 to the top, and then we're going to add 50 to the right. We're going to add 150 to the bottom, and then we're going to add 50 to the left. Alright, so we can start designing right now. So for the first section, we're going to drag in 3 widgets. We're going to drag in the heading, we're going to drag in the text, and we're going to drag in the button. So starting with the heading, and now we're going to drag in the text editor and also drag in the button. And for the second section in this container, we're going to drag in the image widgets. So now we can start customizing this hero section. So the first thing we're going to do is to copy this text, and then we're going to come back here to paste it right here. Now we're going to move to the subheading. We're going to copy all the text we can see here, and then we're going to edit the text editor here. Now we can come to text, switch to text from visual, scroll down and click on delete to remove the extra space at the bottom. And lastly, for the button, we have buy now. So we're going to click on this button to edit it, and we're going to type in buy now. Alright, so let's start editing this text to make it look like what we can see in the demo version. So for the heading, we're going to click on this pencil icon and we're going to come to style. While under style, we're going to come to typography. Another typography we're going to choose, we're going to select 60 pixels, and we're going to change the font family from these defaults to intertight. And then moving on to the next section, we're going to edit this text. We're going to come to style, we're going to come to typography, and then we're going to add 16 pixels to this, and also we're going to change the font family to intertight. And lastly, for the button, we're going to edit the radius for this button. Come to style, and we're going to scroll down to border radius. We're going to change the radius to 50 all through, top, right, bottom, left. And then for the typography, we're going to come to typography, and as usual, we're going to change this to intertight. So one thing we're going to do is that for this first section, we're going to add a little bit of padding to it. So for this first section, we're going to add about, let's come to advanced and let's unlink all these values. So we're going to add 70 to the top, we're going to add 50 to the right, we're going to add 70 to the bottom, and also 50 to the left. Now let's take a look at how it looks like. Let's switch between the demo and switch back to how it is right here. Okay, so one thing we can do here is to change the color for this button. As you can see, the color here looks dim than the blue we have here. So let's edit this button. Let's click on this button, and let's come to background type, and we're going to be using 0055DE. So what we're going to do now is to edit the image at the right hand side, the product image. So let's click on choose image, and then I have the product image on my website already. If you don't have any, you can just come to upload files, click on select file, and then pick the image from your file library. So we're going to come to media library, and then we're going to select this product image. Okay, now let's take a look at how this image looks like. It's too big. Let's reduce the width for this image. Now what we're going to do is to click on this image and then come to style, and under the width we're going to set it to about 80%, and also we're going to add a padding to the second section here. Come to advanced, unlink the values, and then add about 40 to the top. So let's take a look at how it looks like here. So everything is looking good, and let's compare it to how it looks like here. You can see it looks similar. So moving on, we're going to create the next section we have here, which is the features section. So to do this, we're going to come back to our editor, and we're going to click this plus icon to add a new container. I'm going to choose this direction column, the first one here. So what we can do right now is to, first of all, I think we change the background for this. Okay, what we can do right now is to change the background for this container, and now we're going to be using plain white for this background. We're going to be using plain white. And now let's come back to see all our widgets. So for this section, we have performance meets style, we have the heading, we have the text, and then we have icon box. So we can just do one easy thing we can do is to copy this heading. So let's copy, and let's come down here to paste it. Also, let's copy the text. Let's copy the text and come down here to paste it also. So what we can do now is to first of all add padding to our container. So what we're going to do is to click on this 6 icon here to edit the container, and then we're going to come to advanced. So for this container, we're going to unlink the values at first, and then we're going to add about 130 to the top. We're going to add 50 to the right, 130 to the bottom, and then 50 to the left. And also we're going to change the alignment for this text. And first of all, let me first copy what we have here. It says performance meets style. We're going to copy this text and replace it with what we have here. And the next one says crafted with modern aesthetic, whatever we have here. So copy everything, and let's come back here to paste. So what we're going to do is to center align this text. Come to style, center the text, and also let's center this heading. Come to style also, and we're going to center this. So let's see how this looks like. Okay, it looks good, but we can do something to this text we have here. So let's click on this icon, this pencil icon. I'm going to be adding some padding to the right and the left for these widgets. So we're going to add let's add about 200 here, and also add 200 to the left. Okay, so this looks better than what we have at first. And now let's move on to add our icon box. So to do that, we're going to drag in another container into this section. And inside that container, we're going to drag in what we call icon boxes. So we can search for icon, and we're going to use icon box. So drag this in. Okay, so for the icon box, what we're going to do is to come to advanced, and we're going to edit the padding for this icon box. So let's unlink all these values, and we're going to be using 40, 50. So 40 to the top, 50 to the right, 40 to the bottom, 50 to the left. So that's what we're going to be using for this icon box. And also let's edit the text inside. So let's come to style, and let's scroll down to contents. So what we're going to be doing now is to change the typography from this default option to intertight, which is what we're using for this tutorial. Intertight. And also for the text, for the description rather, we're going to use intertight for that also. And for the first one here, we have health tracking. We're going to copy this, and we're going to come back here to paste it here. So let's come to contents, and for the heading, we're going to replace the heading with health tracking, and we have some dummy text here, the lorem ipsum text. So let's just leave that as it is, and let's change the icon. And also the reason why I installed Element Kit plugin is to get the access to their icon pack, because I like their icons more than the default icons that comes with Elementor. So right here, we're just going to search for it says health tracking, right? We're going to search for monitor, and let's use this as just a tracker. So this is how you can just add a new font. You can also decide to play around with the style. You can change the color of the icons, and let's try to pick maybe red. You can use red, you can use blue, you can use whatever color you want to use. But for this tutorial, we're just going to be sticking with the defaults. So let's just leave it as this. And what we're going to do now, after editing this first box, we're just going to right click on this icon box and duplicate it as many times as we want. So we're going to duplicate it 3 times. And we're going to come to this container to edit it. And under the direction for this container, we're going to make it on a row. So we're going to click this first option to make all these widgets be on a single row. So let's see how it looks like right now. Okay, so one last thing we need to do is to distinguish this icon box from the background. You see the background and the icon box is the same, so it doesn't really show that this is a box. So what we're going to do now is to add a little bit of background color to this icon box. So let's click on edit icon box, and let's come to advanced, and then let's scroll down to background, and we're going to be using the theme color for these websites. So let's just click on these defaults, and let's see the theme color. I think it's theme color 5. Yes, so you can use any color that you want for this section. So we're going to use the theme color 5, and let's do a little bit of adjustments to this section in general. So to make further adjustments, we're going to right click on this first icon box. We're going to copy, and then we're going to right click here and paste the style, and also right click here to paste style. Okay, so it is looking good as it is now. And as you can see, we have about 4 features here. What we can just do is to just right click on this edit container and duplicate this whole thing. So we're going to have about 6 right here. So moving on, we're moving on to the next to the last section on this landing page, which is this call to action that says hurry, take the step. So what we can just do for this one is to copy this first section. But before we copy this section and start duplicating, let's just see how it looks like on mobile and tablet devices. So we're going to come down here to click on responsive mode, and at the top here, let's check for tablets. So for the tablet version, you see there are other things, there are improvements we can add to this to this landing page to make it appear better on our tablet devices. So let's start working on that right now. So starting from the hero section, let's edit the container and let's edit the padding for our hero section. So we're going to unlink all these values and we're going to input new values for the tablet version. As you can see, we are editing in tablet version, and this is not going to affect the desktop version that we just finished editing. So right now we're going to add 60 to the top, we're going to use 20 to the right, we're going to use 60 at the bottom, and also 20 at the left. And what we can do with this text, we can reduce this text, we can reduce the size of this text to make it fit better into this section. But first and first, let's edit the section. So let's edit section now, and we're going to unlink all the values. And now we're going to come to this text and let's reduce the heading. Come to typography and let's reduce the size for the heading to around 40. And also for this text, let's reduce the size to, let's say, 14. Okay. So we have a better look on the tablet version, and you can also decide to remove the padding for the watch. Okay, let's leave the padding. I think the padding still makes it better, but let's see, maybe 20. And let's come to style. And now let's edit the image icon, and let's increase the width. All right, now I think we can then go back to remove the padding we just added. So let's bring it down to 0. Okay, I think this looks good. Yeah, this looks good. Let's move on to the next section. For the next section, we have performance meets style, and then we can start from this text that we have here. Let's click on this edit icon, and then we're going to come to typography, and we're going to have it at 55. Okay, and for this text editor, for this text that we have here, we're going to remove all the padding we added for the desktop version. So this looks good like this, and the direction for this is going to change. So we're just going to come here to edit container, and we're going to come down to the direction, and we're going to make it vertical. So let's click the second option, and let's do the same for this one also. Let's make it vertical. All right, so now we can check the mobile version for this landing page. Okay, so this is looking good on mobile version, so we just have a little bit of adjustment we can add to it. So for the image here, we can edit this padding, and let's add 30 to the top, just to give it a little bit of space between all this text. And moving on to the second section, we can just come here to edit the section. We can remove all the widgets, all the padding we added to this section, and we can add about 70 to the top, we can add 20 to the right, and 20 to the left, and also maybe 70 to the bottom. And for the text here, we're going to edit the text, and let's come to the size, and let's give it about 40. Okay, and let's reduce this text also. Let's come to style, and we're going to come to typography, and let's have it at 15. Okay, so every other thing looks good. We can leave it like this. So let's come back to the desktop version, and let's create the last section that we have here. So let's come here, and we're going to copy this first section because they look similar. We're going to copy this hero section and scroll down here to paste it. So we're going to paste it right here. But what we're just going to do is that, as you can see on this demo version here, on this landing page that I created earlier, I flipped the container. So what we're just going to do now is to just come here to direction, and we're going to choose this third one that says reversed. All right, so since we've edited the hero section in mobile and tablet mode, everything is going to be responsive as it is. So we're just going to come back here to copy this text. It says hurry, take the step. So we're going to copy that text, and we're going to come here, and I'm going to just paste in the text here, and we're going to leave other things as it is. You can just replace this by the time you're building your landing page for your actual products. So I'm just going to leave everything as it is. And for this button, we're going to copy the product link. So I'm going to edit this button, and let me just grab the product link right away. So I've copied the product link and I'm just going to come to content and I'm going to replace this link with the actual product link. And you can also click this J icon to open it in a new window or add a no follow rule to this link. But we're not going to be editing anything as regards to that. And let me just change this. I made a mistake. Let's add a $sign. And for this one also, we're going to be adding a $sign. And also we're going to replace this hashtag with the actual link. So what we can do now is to update this page, and let's view this page on a new window. So let's open in a new tab. Okay, so we have the page right here, and then we can see the second section and also the third section. And also you can decide to do something. You can decide to add a little bit of motion effects to this, maybe fading, maybe let me just show you how it works. So let's come back here to the top. So let's edit this first section. Let's edit this colon, and under advanced we're going to scroll down to motion effects. So for this we're going to come to entrance animation and we're going to select let's say fading up. And then for this image we're going to select another one. Let's come to advanced motion effects, and we're going to use maybe fading right. All right, so for this one we're going to edit the whole container, and then we're going to come to advanced, scroll down to motion effects, and let's just use fading up. Okay, and lastly we can use some other type of animation. Let's scroll down to motion effects, come to entrance animation, and you can just scroll down to check other ones that you might use, and you can just use starter. Okay, and let's also edit for the second colon. Let's come to advanced, come down to motion effects, and come to entrance animation, and we can choose some other thing like maybe jello. Okay, but let's use something a little bit better. Let's use maybe pulse. So now we can update this page, and let's come back here to refresh this page. You can see the animation we just added now, and the fading up we added to this second section, and then the animation we added to this last section. So this is how you can add animations to your website. And also we've added the link to the product here, so when they click on this buy now, they'll be redirected to this products page, where they can select how many quantities they want. In case there are variations to maybe the colors, maybe the size, they can make all selections, add the product to cart, and then move on to checking out. So we're moving on to the last stage of this tutorial, and that is creating the pop-up form that is going to come up whenever they want to close the tab for our website on PC. So to create that, we're going to come to Omnisend. Like I said earlier, we're going to be using Omnisend for this, and if you don't have an account yet with Omnisend, you can click the first link in the description below to create an account and also get 30% off the first 3 months of your purchase, and also $1,000 free migration offer for you. You don't have to work on anything. You don't have to pay anybody to set up your account for you. The customer support team is going to set everything up for you and set you up for success. So what we're going to do now is to come to forms, and under forms we're going to click on create form, and right here there's a form I actually wanted to use. You can filter the forms here by using these filter options that we have here, but actually let me just search for it right now. Let me search for exits. Okay, this is the form I wish to use for this tutorial. It says discount on product exit. So let's use templates. So this is our pop-up editor. This is where we're going to be editing everything that has to do with this pop-up. As you can see, there are other items that you can drag and drop into this place. For example, you can drag and drop the phone number field. You can drag and drop any other thing, but let's just remove this and stick with the email only. So what we're going to be doing first of all is to replace this image. So let's click on this image widgets and let's come to replace. And here we're going to be picking another image. Let's use this watch image. All right, and also we're going to be changing the width from fill to fit. Okay, and what we're going to be doing next is to change the text font for this. Let's come to font and let's select another font, and let's choose Rubik. This is a bold font, and let's change this text. I'm just showing you how you can edit these things. Let's change the text to a vertical, and you can also decide to reduce the size and also reduce the line height, and also change the color and do every other thing that you want to do with these widgets. So let's remove the spacing here, and also let's remove this spacing. Okay, and let's do one more changes. Let's edit the background for this image. So let's come back here and come to form layout. No, let's come back to colors. Let's come back to colors actually. Come to colors, and then we're going to change this from orange, or what color is this, to white. All right, so this is looking good. And let's move on to the success, and this is what they're going to see whenever they successfully subscribe to our email list. And then move on to subscribed, and this is what a subscribed user is going to see whenever this pop-up comes up. And lastly, what we need to do here is to come to display, and then we're going to enable time on page. This is going to be useful for people on mobile and tablet devices because they don't have a cursor that the system is going to read and display the pop-up for them. So let's just set 60 seconds for them, and then we're going to leave the exit intent on for desktop devices. And now we're going to come to visibility. We're going to show on all devices, and let's come to targeting. All right, so we want these pop-ups really appear on a certain page. So let's remove these URLs that we have here, and let's add another URL there. So let me just check my clipboard and paste this URL right here, and let us click on add URL. So this pop-up form is really going to display on this particular URL, and is also going to display to all visitors on our websites, and including existing customers and existing contacts and those that are not part of our email list before. So we're just going to move back, and I think everything is okay. Let's just click on enable, and the pop-up is supposed to be live on our website immediately. Now this is the first stage. There's something we need to do also to make this work. We've already set up a pop-up form to collect the emails from our users so that they can get a discount code. Now we need to set up an automation that will send a discount code to them immediately they submit their email address. So what we're going to do is to come to automations, and right here we're going to be creating a new workflow. So we're going to come here to click on create workflow, and we can see several templates for workflows that we can use, but we're going to be creating our own from scratch. So let's come here to create from scratch. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to edit the trigger, and then it says please select an event. So what is going to trigger this workflow to start working? We're going to scroll down, and then we're going to click on sign up. So this subscribers enter the workflow when they sign up via an omniscient form. Now we're going to expand these trigger filters, and we're going to select a filter. So we're going to choose form, and we're going to change this to is, and then select a value, and then we're going to activate this pop-up, this workflow whenever they enter this pop-up. Actually, let me save this and go back to rename this workflow so that I will be sure of what I'm selecting. Okay, so let me just remove this, and let's add the filter one more time. So we're going to select form, we're going to change this to is, and then we're going to choose a value. So we're going to be using this tutorial pop-up. That's the one we just created for this tutorial, and then we're going to click on save. So what we just simply did is that subscribers are going to enter this workflow when they sign up via an omniscient form, which is this tutorial pop-up that we created. And then there are other options that you can check, which is this audience filter and then these exit conditions, but we're not going to be diving deep into those ones for this tutorial. We're just going to leave it at the basic. And then the next thing we're going to do is to add a delay. So you can choose to drag in a delay here, and then you can decide to wait for, let's say, 1 minute or wait for 1 hour before you send them the discount code. But one thing we're going to do is that we're going to send them the code immediately. So you can just choose immediately, so they don't have to wait for any time. They don't have to wait for maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute before they get the code. They're going to get the code as soon as they drop their email list and they sign up to the newsletter. So what we're going to now do is to drag and drop email next here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is to add a subject line. So let me just open up my clipboard and let me paste this subject line here. And then we're going to move on to add a pre-header. So let me just paste that to right there. And then moving on to the sender's name, we're going to use maybe Eben from the THEWPBRO. And then we're going to have a sender email address and every other thing. So let's update this, and let's come back to edit the content for this email. So let's click on edit content, and let's click on yes save. Okay, so this is where we can edit the content of our image, or of our email rather. So let's change this image, let's add our logo, and let's come here to click on replace, and we can choose a logo from our image library. So moving on, we're going to come to quick add, and we're going to drag in this text widget. So right here we're going to paste in the contents of our email. So we're just going to edit this, and we're going to paste in our texts. Okay, let's break it here, and let's copy this code. Let's add our another widget rather. Let's come to quick add, and let's drag in static discounts. All right, so we're going to come to this discount code box here to type in our discount code, which is peak 10, and let me remove this last thing. All right, so we've set up our email, and then we've added our discount code to it. So what we're just going to do now is to click on finish editing, and you can also decide to send test email to see how it's going to look like before you start the live automation. But for this tutorial, we're just going to click on finish editing, and here we can just come to click on start workflow. So right now our automation and our forms is supposed to be working perfectly on our website, and to be sure everything is working as it's supposed to be, let's open this new window, this new incognito mode, and I'm going to paste in our URL there, the URL to the page we designed in the course of this tutorial. Alright, so it is of two ways. A user can either wait for 60 seconds before they see the pop-up, or they can just try to close this tab, and before they get to this point, this pop-up is going to come up for them to input their email and get a 10% off discount code. So we're just going to try it right now. Let me input my email. Let's click on get my 10% off. Alright, so it says your discount has arrived. Your discount is waiting for you in your inbox. So we're just going to close this pop-up, and then let me come back to this new tab, and let's check my inbox for my email. Okay, so I'm in my Gmail account now. We're going to come to promotions, and we're going to see this first email that is in my inbox here that says don't miss out, enjoy 10% of the Atlas Peak smartwatch, smart fitness watch today. So we're going to open up this email, and then we can see the email that we built the other time. There we notice we've been eyeing the Atlas and everything that we added. So they can just copy this pic 10 and then come back to the product page, probably scroll down and click on this buy now button to move to the product page, and then they can use the code when they are about to check out and buy your product that you're trying to promote to them. So this is how you can create a landing page for your products, and also use email marketing to spice up everything, and also make sure you make more sales using Omnisense. So in case you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. And in case you have any questions for me, any suggestions, leave them down in the comments below, and I'm going to respond to every one of them. So my name is Ben, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.